Hello everyone and welcome to episode 20 of my Create This Book series. As you can see, this book is getting really full of all of these fun and beautiful prompts, but we still have a lot more to go. Today I'm going to be doing 3 more. Before I begin, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's jump right into what we can create for today. Opening up to the first prompt of the day, which is to create a collage. But I want to make a collage out of my drawings, so let's move the book over to the side. And now I'm going ahead and bringing in a separate piece of paper and my Ohuhu markers to create a collage of some sort of my drawings. So I had to come up with a theme, and it was really hard to try and come up with something, but it's spring and summertime, so fruit is really on the mind right now. So I decided, why not create a collage of a whole bunch of different types of fruit. So the first thing that I did was start sketching out a whole bunch of different fruits. I needed enough to make a full collage, so I had to come up with a lot of different fruit ideas. So far I did an orange, a strawberry, now I'm working on a kiwi, which is a little unique of a fruit in my opinion, and then I decided to do a little lemon wedge slice as well, even including little details like the seeds. And for now I'm just creating a lot of really rough sketches. I don't need anything to be too perfect, I just need to know what I'm creating. I even decided to add in a peach and an apple, which was like completely out of frame, so here's how it turned out after I was done sketching it. And then after that I had to keep coming up with more ideas. I decided a slice of watermelon would be really cute. Watermelon are one of my favorite fruits, except when they're all squishy. I don't like a squishy watermelon. And lastly, I decided to draw in a pear, which was, pretty self-explanatory. So now I'm going ahead and moving on to outlining everything that I just drew and sketched out. So now I'm just working on really adding in some extra details and making sure that everything is nice and neat and not so sloppy looking. I'm even adding in details like the pulp in the fruit and adding in little dots everywhere to add a little bit of texture and extra detail. So this was a really fun and relaxing step. Once you already have the sketches, now you can go ahead and just make everything look super nice, and it's starting to really come together and come to life, and they're looking like the fruits they're supposed to look like, so that's also a really good thing. I love drawing fruits since they're such organic shapes and they're so fluid and soft and fun looking, and they're all so different as well. But more than I love drawing the fruit, I also love coloring them. So I also made this little fruit page here into a coloring page so that you guys can color along with me if you want to. I just think fruit is so fun to draw and color, so I wanted you guys to be able to have the option to do that with me if you wanted to. So you can go to my website anchoredartdesigns.com and click the coloring page tab, and it will take you to a whole bunch of free coloring pages that I have, and this will be listed as one of them. From there you can go ahead and click it, add it to cart, and check out. All I need is your name and email address, and then you can go ahead and download the coloring page and either print it out or take it directly into Procreate and color it in from there, and it will show up with no background, so you don't have to worry about messing up the lines. But anyway, here is how it turned out, and here's how it's looking so far before it's ready to be colored in. So now we can color it in together, and the link will also be down below for the coloring page. So now it's time to bring in the colors. So first I'm starting off with the orange here, and of course I'm using the color orange to color the orange, and I'm starting off by adding in the details and all of the pulp in the inside of the fruit. I am very blessed to have a variety of Ohuhu markers to color in everything with. However, I still didn't feel like I could get the right orange color. Oranges are very particularly colored. They're not just orange like you would think that they are, but they also have a lot of different colors. So I tried really hard using the colors that I do have to get the right shade of orange in here, and then I went ahead in with a white gel pen to add in all of the magic details and make sure the fruit looked nice and juicy like a nice orange would. And now it's time to move on to the lemon, since I view oranges and lemons in my head as sort of cousins. They're both a citrus. I brought in this neon yellow color from an old Ohuhu set that I have to add in an even lighter, more neon color for the lemon to really make it pop. And then after that it was time to add in details just like I did with the orange, and added in some pulp and some juicy highlights as well to this one to also make it look nice. And now it's time to color in the peach with this beautiful color palette. So I was most nervous about coloring in this one because peaches have so many different colors in them. So first I start out with coloring a whole base of yellow that I was hoping I could blend into, and I'm starting within red, which looks so crazy intense, and then I tried to blend it out with with an orange and keep going from darker to lighter colors, trying to blend everything out while it was still wet, and it was looking pretty crazy. It kind of looks like one of those color temperature things, if you know what I'm talking about. But then anyway, I colored in the leaves, and after that I tried to add in a little bit of speckles to add in some more detail, and I think it looks really cool. It's not as smooth as I would have liked it to be, but it's also really cool and fun. And now it's time to move on to the kiwi. I was trying to say that the peach looked like infrared, but anyway, now I'm working on the kiwi and I'm adding in a whole bunch of different shades of green to add in some texture to that, and then I'm making the bottom brown, obviously, and adding in some little hair strokes as well. Now it's time to work on the strawberry. I tried to add in a little bit of pink, but mostly just ended up coloring over it, but I think it showed through a little bit and gave it a little more different colors, added in a little bit of details, and of course went in with my white gel pen details to add in some seeds and some highlights, and I couldn't forget the little strawberry hat that goes on top. And now it's time to do the apples. So apples typically have a little bit of green on the inside, so I tried to add in some green and blend it out a lot because nobody wants to eat a green apple. And then after that it was time to make it red on the outside, and finally I could move on to the watermelon, which I was super excited about. I tried to add in a lot of texture by taking a darker color first and making a whole bunch of squiggles since watermelon just have so many colors in them, and then I went ahead with a pink and then finally added in the details to the back of the watermelon, you know, the green part, the like outside shell. And then finally I of course went in with my white gel pen as well to add in all of those highlights that it needs to look like an actual watermelon. And finally it's time to end up working on the pear. This is the last one, and for this one I pretty much just colored it in completely green, added in some darker shades of green, and tried to add in a little bit of details and texture to this one. Colored in the top brown of course to add in the little stem, and now it's time to cut them all out. So I cut them all out and they're looking so cute, so I can't wait to put them into the book. So I just put them in a variety of different places. I tried to spread them out based on size and color to make them look a little more cohesive, and this is how they turned out in the book, and I think they look so cute. And now we've got this cute little fruit collage, which is perfect for the season. And now it's time for the next prompt, which is to create a flaw. For this one I started out taking a really long time to draw an oval, but once I had that oval I could continue on with my idea. So it took me a while to actually come up with an idea for this one. The first thing that I thought of when I heard flaw was human flaws, or things that at least we consider as a society to be a flaw, which are kind of silly things like pimples or something weird like that. But then I decided, let's not do something like that. Let's focus on items and the things that items can have flaws in. So I decided, why not create a mirror? But the twist on it later is that it's going to be a broken mirror and have a flaw in it because it no longer is able to serve its purpose of being a mirror since it's now broken. But anyway, first I had to start off by drawing an intricately designed mirror. I tried to create a line of symmetry down the middle to make sure it looked even on both sides, and then I had to outline all of my little designs. I decided to add little beads all around the frame of the mirror, which was really fun to get to color in all of those. And then after that it was time to work on the actual flaw in the mirror, which is the fact that it is broken. So I created a crack in the middle and drew out little lines all around it to make it look like it veined out into the mirror, and then I colored in the part that was missing black to symbolize that it's completely gone. And now it's time to work on the actual part of the mirror that reflects. I didn't want it to look like it reflected anything, but I still wanted it to look reflective, if that makes sense. So I tried to add in a variety of a whole bunch of different colors to try and make it look a little bit reflective of light and certain colors. And for the outside of the mirror I decided to make it a gold soft color, kind of like a rose gold with a little bit more warmth to it. So I added in these tan colors first, made sure to get in all the details, and then added in some yellow to really make sure that the color stood out and popped off the way that I wanted it to. Then I cut it out, and I thought this was so cool. You could actually hold it like a mirror, which was kind of fun. I put it into the book, and here's how it turned out. I felt like this was so cool, and you can definitely tell that there's an obvious flaw in the mirror, but it's still a really beautiful art piece. And now it's time for the last prompt, which is to create an adventure. So I just decided for this one to just wing it and not draw anything out beforehand. I just went straight in with my marker and decided to just kind of go for it. I wanted this to be a lot more of a loose look and kind of be like somebody was documenting their journey along the way. So I didn't want it to look too pre-planned. I wanted it to look very sketchy and rough and have a very specific style to it. At least that's what I'm telling myself. But anyway, for this prompt, I'm supposed to document an adventure. So usually me and my husband go on the same walking route pretty much every day, definitely every week at least, I'll say that. But anyway, we typically see some of the same things. We see the same tree every day, we see a lot of clouds, a lot of wildlife in general, bunnies, birds, those kind of things. So I wanted to document that walk that we take together where we see a whole bunch of these different things, and I just wanted to make it look like I took notes about those adventures that we go on together. So that's my goal for this one. So I first drew out the first page with a whole bunch of wildlife, and then I had to figure out what to fill in for the second page, and this was a very challenging page. I kind of ran out of things to draw already, so for this one I was really reaching for it. We see a lot of houses since we walk around a neighborhood. We see some caterpillars sometimes. Obviously the sun is outside sometimes, so I decided to include that. Then I decided to try to draw a dog from memory, and let's just say it looks like I tried to draw a dog from memory. So there's that, and then after that it was time to do a couple more things just to fill up the space. I was really reaching at this point. I said we see some pine cones, we see some sticks. I literally put that we see sticks in here and drew a stick. So that happened, and then finally I decided to draw in a basketball because sometimes we see those as well, but I don't even know if you could really call that a basketball. But then after that it was time to color everything in, and I wanted to keep this style the same as the sketching, so I decided to just color everything in with really flat colors and keep it super simple. So here's how the first page turned out, and now I'm coloring in the second page, and it turned out pretty cute. I actually really like them together, and I do kind of like the vibe and the effect of the sketching. I put them into the book, and here is how they turned out. I like that it documents our adventure, but the sketching is kind of interesting. But let's take a look back at the first page of the day, which was to create a collage. So I created this whole collage of these colorful fruits that look super juicy and colorful and fun, and I loved how this page turned out. The next page was to create a flaw, so I tried to go outside of the box a little bit and create a flaw in an item. In this case, I created a broken mirror, which still looks really pretty. And then finally, for the last prompt, I documented an adventure, which are the walks that me and my husband go on together. I think this page also turned out really fun, but it's definitely different than my usual style. Let me know which one of these prompts from today was your favorite. I think I really liked the fruit one. If you color the fruit page, tag me on Instagram at Anchored Art Designs. I would love to see it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!